Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, this is Jonas Anthony CH Melchett signing back in, and I'm very excited to bring you tonight behind the gun, the MKB42 versus the AVT-40. This has been a video a long ways coming. I personally had to get enough experience with both guns to to form an opinion and explore the different capability of both guns. But let's jump straight into it here. First of all, guys, I'm gonna be covering, as you see here in the picture, I'm gonna be covering the different stats, and after that I'm gonna give you my opinion on the different guns and how they should be used in my opinion. First of all, in blue you see here we got the MKB, and in red of course the AVT-40. There is a lot of difference between these two guns. It's very difficult to compare them exact, but they have some similar features and they have something that puts them very much apart. Let's start off with the MKB42. The MKB42 was a gun that breached the gap between the submachine gun and the full-powered battle rifle. It shoots the 8mm Mauser round, but it's a shortened 8mm Mauser, so it fires a less powerful cartridge than the Mauser, than the full 8mm would. Of course, the AVT-40 fires the standard Russian 7.62, and the weight of both guns empty is the MKB42 is 4.4 kilograms and the AVT-40 is 3.9, and that means that these guns, it's gonna have a difference if you're carrying satchels and stuff like that. Then we're gonna jump down to damage, because the MKB42 covers that medium assault rifle role. It has 770 damage. It's a medium between the submachine guns and the full powered rifles. The AVT is the full powered rifle, so it has a damage model of 115. So that is gonna do a lot of damage. Then we're gonna jump down to the initial, the fire interval, the rate of fire. We're gonna jump down and see that the MKB42 fires at 600 rounds a minute, where the AVT fires at 705. And people are like, what's the difference here? The difference is that the rate of fire, as you're gonna be seeing in some of the footage, is gonna make the MKB a lot more controllable in full automatic fire, where the AVT is pretty uncontrollable if you're not an expert user and fire it from the hip. The spread, again, if you're gonna pull down the trigger, the MKB42 is gonna spread at 0.0012 and the MKB by 0.0005. So the AVT is actually gonna have lesser spread if you pull down the trigger than the MKB is gonna have. If you just spam the trigger, the bloom of the bullets are gonna be less. That's that might surprise people, but that's just the facts. Now, when we're talking about, we're coming down to the muzzle velocity, the initial muzzle velocity, the speed the bullet has when it leaves the barrel, and that's where we come into exactly the role of these guns. The MKB42 is the first assault rifle in the world, and the AVT is a fully automatic version of the SVT. It wasn't used that much in real life, the AVT, but the MKB42, or the later version, the Sturmgewehr 44, was in heavy use at the later stage of the war. And the whole assault rifle role is the weaker cartridge, the larger magazine, and that's why the MKB42 is gonna have a bullet velocity of 646 meters a second. And the AVT is gonna have 840 meters a second. What is this gonna mean? It's gonna mean that at a distance, if you move out to distance, the MKB42 is gonna have a little more trouble, reaching the target, because it's gonna take a little longer for the MKB to reach the target. The projectile is gonna be a lot more arc to hit target, so it's gonna have a lot longer travel time. You have to lead a lot more, so it's gonna make more difficult hitting at long range. Where among the AVT, is spot on every time. It's a very fast round Then we come down to you know, the recoil rate, how much the gun recoils, and again the MKB42 is has more recoil rate by 0.095, and the AVT is at 0.8. But that is of course something to do with, you know, that it's gonna fire in that fully automatic mode. It's gonna spread the bullets out more. But again, the AVT is hampered, even though it has less recoil, by it fires a bigger bullet. Now we're gonna come down to ballistic coefficiency. You know, how slippery the bullet is. There the MKB is represented by 0.4411. And the AVT is 0.37. This is not gonna have any practical use for you guys when you're playing the game. It's just to show that the drag of the AVT bullet is less, because of course it's a higher powered bullet, is full case bullet. The MKB bullet is gonna be more unstable. You know, just a bit of a historical fact. The Germans just sized down the big 8mm Mauser round and still had the same load of a powder in a smaller load of powder. So that meant that 8mm bullet was a lot more shaky at that point, or more unstable. But you know, later the NATO countries later period went down to the 5.56. That's gonna be a lot lighter bullet. That's gonna make the gun more user friendly. Now we're gonna go down to, you know, this is a big one, ammo count. The MKB is gonna have a 30 round magazine, and of course, if you make a reload with a bullet in the chamber, you're gonna have a 30 run rounds. The AVT on the other hand is gonna have 10, and again, if you reload, you're gonna have 11 rounds. You know, that's gonna make a hell of a lot of difference in a combat situation, guys. 30 rounds, 31 rounds, it's 31 guys. It's you can wipe out a team with you can wipe out the entire enemy team with one mag. The AVT, you're gonna have a little more trouble there. Magazine, again, it's not gonna be comparable, but you know, the MKB42 is gonna have 6, and the AVT is gonna have 8. The penetration power, of course, you know, no surprise to anybody that the AVT is gonna have more penetration power. The bigger bullet, the faster bullet velocity. So the MKB is at 18.42, and the AVT is at 22.25. Now we're gonna come down to something of the interesting stuff. The reload time, you know, that's gonna make a difference, especially for the AVT with the smaller magazine. We see that if you have an empty clip, you're gonna reload the MKB in 3.117 seconds. The AVT is gonna be 3.24. So the AVT is gonna be slower, you know, slightly slower there.
Okay.
But if you gonna make a tactical reload, as you might with the like the Americans would call it, like in while you still have bullets in the magazine, the AVT is actually faster with the MKB reload time of 2.267 and the AVT's reload time of 2.18. So that means the role of the AVT, if you lose as the assault rifle, you are gonna have a slightly faster reload. So again, this is gonna be very important when we now start talking about the philosophy of using the guns. When I look at the MKB is the prototype of the assault rifle. It is the first, you know, assault rifle ever made, to be fair. Everything we are using nowadays that came after that is based on the MKB. We might as well face it. The MKB was a gun out of its time, out of its period, and in Red Orchestra, you know, that portrays perfectly in Red Orchestra that what the MKB is. The AVT is a fully automatic version of the SVT. You know, it's a 11 round. If you have one in the chamber, it cannot compare to the MKB. But on some points it can, because if you look at the attachments, the MKB gets that 1.4 times Seisler scope you can put on there. Both guns, of course, get a bayonet, but the AVT gets the standard Russian sniper scope that is about 3.4, I think it was. times or 3.4 or 4 times sniper scope. It gets on there, which is gonna make the gun very, very useful at long range. The AVT. The AVT is gonna be able to engage target at long range, as you see in the video clips. The MKB is gonna have trouble because of the recoil, of course, of the weaker bullet. Is gonna have trouble engaging from medium to long range, and the AVT is perfect there. I would say that the MKB is a lot more, new guy friendly. If you're a new player, the MKB is gonna be, your go-to gun. You cannot go wrong with 30 rounds or 31 rounds, a good 600 rounds a minute, fully automatic gun. The AVT is the gun of the veteran. All the veterans I know appreciate the AVT. Me and a lot of guys really, really enjoy the AVT because of its capability with the scope to go out and touch people at distance. So people would say, so hey General, how do I handle the AVT? What do I do in close quarter? And there it's a very simple question. You hip fire. If you are truly a professional in Red Orchestra, you have it on fully automatic and you go into a room and you simply use the fully automatic mode, and if you shoot dry you go for the bayonet. That is something that people miss. You have a really long rifle, you can pretty much stab people to death pretty easily. So what do? Either you put it on semi-automatic or you put it on full automatic and you start clearing rooms, and people are saying, yeah, is that possible? Yes, it's possible. Actually, if you practice enough, practice hip fire, take some rounds on apartments, and really get to know the AVT. When you get it to level 50, get the scope and get that stuff, it's an excellent gun. As you've seen some of the clips here, I'm able to move up, I'm able to assault a position, and what it in effect gives the Russian team, or the team that has in elite assault, or for the Germans a hero elite assault, it gives them an extra sniper. It gives them the people that can assault a target, spawn on their squad leaders, assault, but still go out and touch people at those medium and longer ranges. And that is, a very specific role. It's a very, in-depth role, and it's something, where you really can make a difference for your team. So in final conclusions, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a new guy, the MKB is probably going to be a go-to gun. It's a good gun, it's a stable gun, but be aware of the weaknesses, be aware of the difference and difficulties at medium to long range, and be aware, by all means guys, do not put that scope on. I know people like it, some people like it, but for me it's just like on some maps, perhaps Winterwald or Bridges, it would be good, or Bereshka, where I got some more distance, but otherwise that Seisler 1.3 or 1.4 times scope is totally useless in my opinion. But let me know down in the comments if you like the scope for the MKB. But again, the AVT, that scope is wonderful, and it's a super effective scope. It's a super effective way to you can do it all. The AVT is just the all-around best gun in my opinion if you're elite assault. So yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed this, my rambling along. I really hope you enjoyed this, and please leave your comments, please subscribe and thumbs up the video and share it guys, and yeah, I really hope you can do this. This is Jonas Anthony CH Mills signing back out, and bye bye.